Good morning, Oracles. So I'm wearing green today because I'm trying to entice the stock to be green this week. We'll see what happens. We've got the FOMC meeting coming up this week. Interest rates going up, so there's going to be a little bit of uncertainty, but maybe in hopes of we'll get that clarity with the Fed raising the rates. Maybe that will entice the market to go up. We shall see how that happens. So yesterday I had posted a video about marketing and whether Tesla should market or not. Many of you chimed in, and it seems like, marketing right now doesn't make sense. The only thing that we had discussed a little bit was about the fact that, most of the marketing that's done now is all through social media, through us. Obviously, Tesla pays for nothing, but it's mainstream media, and it's a matter of, some people don't even get into social media. My father, he's on Facebook, but he sees nothing about Twitter. He doesn't go into YouTube other than to watch my videos. And so most of the information he gets is from mainstream media. And there's a lot of people like that out there. So to try and get in there and he'll give me information that I knew 2 days ahead of time through Twitter. It doesn't get till mainstream media until a couple of days later. And sometimes it's not always the most accurate. Obviously those of us who pay attention really dive into the information that's there, really get the true story as to what's going on. Mainstream media tends to miss that sometimes, whether it's on purpose or lack of them doing their research. I'm not sure which one it is, but either way, maybe a little bit of something in the mainstream media could potentially help. But then I have a bunch of my friends reaching out to me, telling me about how they've bought Teslas, their parents bought Teslas. I mean, there's a lot of people buying Teslas right now, and they're reaching out to me, letting me know, and I know many of them are not on social media. So that tells me that it's working regardless. So whether you believe in the marketing or not, or maybe they need to do some marketing later, maybe as demand starts to wane in a few years, we'll see how that goes. However, in the meantime, there are clearly people who are still buying this. Demand is as high as it can possibly get, and it's getting even higher. We are hearing word about a potential standard range Model Y coming out of Austin, which might actually be where the 4680s start from. I'm guessing we'll probably get more information on this come April 7th at GigaFest. Whether we get it before or not, I don't know. I know many people on Twitter, Omar, Sawyer, everybody's reaching out to Elon asking him for info. Whether he's going to share it or not, who knows? All I know is that demand is there, demand is going to get higher, and if they start putting out a standard range with the 4680 batteries, that's going to be a whole new wave of people coming in for a lower cost vehicle with those 4680s. And it's like, if it weren't for the fact that I wanted a long range, I would alter my order to get one as well, but I want the long range, so I know what I'm looking for, and I'll just have to be patient and wait. So although for me, I could have picked up my car this week, I opted not to take delivery. I took FSD out, and I do want to see if I'm going to get one out of Austin. So I'm still going to kick that can down the road. They did tell me that they're holding my vehicle until early April, and I've heard from other people that that's actually a long time. My buddy out in San Francisco said that he's got a Model 3 on order, and they give him literally 3 days to pick it up. If he doesn't pick it up, it's gone. So let me know your experiences out there, if you've had any about pushing your vehicle off or getting maybe a delivery date and you trying to schedule it and not being able to because you don't have enough time to go grab it. So for me, I had about a month. I'm still going to be taking a look at it, making sure I get an Austin vehicle. I've got to buy a house first. I want to make sure I have a house to be able to set up charging on it before I get the vehicle, but I'll see how that plays out with the housing market as well. But just looking at these stats, and I don't know if I mentioned it before, when I went to upgrade to FSD, I was expecting to pay $12,000. Mine was only $10,000, and that's probably because I had made my order last November before they raised prices, so they grandfathered me in. Now, when I did take it off, it did say no more changes could be made. I went back in afterwards and I could change it, but I did not check the price. So I do not know if now it would be $12,000 or not. But if you have an order that's in prior to the increase, I think it was January 14th. So prior to that, you might be grandfathered in to get FSD at the previous prices. And so for me, when I get mine, I'm ideally going to get it over the summer. I will find it. So at that point, I'll have my house. I'll be able to charge it and plug it in. I'll get my vehicle over the summer. And at that point, I should know for sure that it's coming out of Austin. And that to me is the most important part. And I'll probably toggle on and off FSD just to play around with it, make a few videos for you guys to show my experiences on it. Maybe by then they have version 11 out. We shall see. But that's something that I'm really looking forward to. And let me know if any of you out there are interested in getting the standard range Model Y that's going to be coming out of Austin, it seems like. So let me know how excited you are for that. Let me know if that has maybe changed your mind. Maybe it's something that you were on the fence about because of pricing, and now you have an opportunity to get a standard range for a little bit less. So let me know if that's on your radar now. Now, speaking of some other vehicles that are out there, so we've got NHTSA, who had just made a ruling that they are going to be allowing on the roads vehicles that are autonomous without steering wheels or pedals. Now, this is something that we had talked about previously, as that is what is most likely, in my theory, going to be coming out of Shanghai for the Model 2 or compact car, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm thinking that they're going to have two different versions of it, one of which will have steering wheel and pedals for people to purchase, and another is going to be without, which will be obviously less expensive, less cost, because they don't have to add these extra parts in there. And with that, and now with the ruling that NHTSA has made, now it's a possibility that it could come over to the US. My guess is that most likely that was due to the Waymos of the world and, Chevy Cruze and them working on those things. So it's probably more along lines with that because they want to do it. But either way, that's going to bode well for Tesla, because exactly how I thought, which was a lot of the regulations that we are going to see are going to require legacy auto to be at a point where, they can want it to be regulated. And so if they're at a point where they want it to be regulated, that'll end up boding well for Tesla, because clearly Tesla doesn't have much pull when it comes to regulations because legacy auto doesn't like them. And now, of course, this doesn't mean that we're going to have vehicles on the road that are autonomous right now. Maybe in some certain cities will allow it. Obviously, like the San Francisco, some cities in Arizona that already have these deals made up with geo-gridded areas strictly for their autonomous vehicles. But going down the road, if this is now going to be okay by NHTSA, that means that Tesla, if they do end up solving FSD by the end of the year, is now primed and ready to make robotaxis a reality in the United States. And so, we have so many good things on the horizon right now. We've got Giga Berlin having their grand opening next week. We've got Austin going to be coming up a week or so after that. We've got Q1 earnings are going to be coming at the end of April. And anywhere between now and then, or perhaps after Q1 earnings, Tesla's most likely going to get their S&P upgrade into investor grade rating for credit. And then the floodgates can open. I anticipate, obviously, we have a lot of macro stuff going on still. We have Russia, Ukraine that is not de-escalating at all. Seems like it's actually getting worse over there. They do say that they're going to have peace talks starting up again today. We'll see how that plays out. So obviously there's a lot of macro environment stuff going on between that and the interest rates going up and inflation being horribly out of control. But Tesla fundamentally is where we continue to look, and fundamentally they are still looking extremely strong, looking like they're actually increasing demand more than they can even handle as it is. So, as long as Tesla can keep on pumping out, and for me, just like Rob over at Tesla Daily, production is his most important thing, and right now that's where it's at. Production, production, production. How quickly can they produce? Are they on track or ahead of pace for production? And that's what we're going to find out come the beginning of April when we see Q1 numbers, and then when we see the earnings call. That's really going to set everybody's sights on what's the future going to bring. And then at the beginning of every month subsequent to that, we will get numbers hopefully coming out of Austin and Berlin to let us know what track we are on with production. Let me know in the comments below, have you had more and more people coming up to you letting you know that they're purchasing a Tesla, or somebody that they know is purchasing a Tesla? Or do you just see many more of them driving around than you used to? Let me know in the comments below, because this is starting to really become a much more vibrant reality than a lot of people thought, and I'm starting to see way more of them on the road myself. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. Thank you so much. Have a great one.